Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War.
John Robert Ackerman, Wayne Roger Adams, Bobby Ray Alexander, Stanley William Armentrout, Robert Austin, Robert F. Balsley, Jr., Benedicto Piosolan Byron, Marvin Richard Berhow, John Francis Betancourt, Michael Lynn Biles, J. Carl Books, Calvin Baucknight, Donald William Boyer, Richard Burton Bradley, Dana E. Brann, Robert William Breed, Verndine Arthur Brockman, Eddie Wayne Brown, Eddie Brown, Jr., Ralph Eugene Byrd, Lewis Clayton Childress, Jesse Wendell Connor, William Michael Copley, Raymond Prater Cox, James Kraft, Gerald Cragg, Paul Marvin Cronk, Jr., Michael Charles DeLacy, Frank DeBernardo, Jr., Manuel de Luna, Jr., David Keith Demarest, James George Deshane, Robert George Drapp, John Calvin Elzey III, Philippe B. Fales, George Richard Fazaa, Keith A. Feltz, Ernest Dow Ford, Leonard Eugene Fritz, Luther Vermont Gilreath, Robert Razzo Gomez, Donald George Green, Lemoyne Eugene Grow, Richard Joseph Hammer, Bruce Lynn Hankins, Octaviano Martinez Harvey, Robert Richard Hilliard, Russell Addison Hodge, Larry Daniel Holloway, Ernest Craig Homer, Michael James Hoover, Ronald Ray Hornbrook, Mark Thomas Howard, Ronald Wayne Ireland, Donald Allen Jackson, Marion Jamilski, Michael Donald Jarrett, Earl Dale Jenkins, Jr., Arnold Edward Johnson, James Robert Johnson, Michael Kirk Johnson, W.C. Johnson, Sammy Jones, Jr., William Edward Joyce, Jr., Carl Frederick Karst, David Roger Keaton, Tommy Keaton, Richard Lane Kelton, Gerald Wayne Kemp, Douglas Dwayne Kern, Eddie Claude Kimball, Billy Melton Knight, George Kenneth Kuhn, Robert Harold Kunkel, Robert Edward Cushmall, Jr., Larry Caluistas Lara, John Borges Leal, Henry Lee Limbach, John Lance Lindaberry, Peter Little, Dexter Joseph Lombus, Patrick Jerome Long, John Stephen McConnell, James Howard McDonald, Marion Lee Meggs, Rivas A. Montre, Jr., Jorge Luis Nieves, William Harry Nolte, Bernard Jack O'Donnell, Eugene Michael Poliskas, Gordon Lee Patterson, Larry Bruce Perry, Alan Dale Pittman, Gregory Cornelius Quinn, John Pell Rackhouse, Kenneth Dean Rankin,
Eugene Bruce Rhodes, Jesse Richardson, James Lewis Riley, James Francis Riley, John Marshall Rowe, Roger Dale Ruoff, Daryl James Ripke, David Ali Sade, Leonda Sartor, George Austin Schwalbach, Richard Willia Schwindler, O. D. Scott, Charles Rayford Sellers, Hilbert M. Singletary, Jr., Richard Anthony Cito, Sr., Robert Clarence Skinner, Lewis Leonard Sloan, Jerry Dean Smith, Norman R. Stoddard, Jr., James Emmett Stone, Billy J. Tolley, Richard Lee Thompson, William Vieira, Michael Villarreal, Robert Charles Weichert, William James Wilders, Stanley Frank Wilton, Kenneth Lee Witt, Glenn Robert Wiley, Ronald Albert Yenchar, James Michael Young.